Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatsMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, today we've got a double whammy, two of the toughest genres to score high ratings in. One of those genres is, of course, the...
It's my first map.
Genre. Yes, that's right. It's another one of those first maps. Virtually every map this week is a My First Map, so be aware. The other genre that is really hard to do well in, and this is even with the top creators, is the one-to-one style real-life city build. And that's what we've got here today. We've got a first-timer doing a one-to-one real-life city build, that being a city in the United States that you've probably heard of. Probably read it in the description, probably saw it on the thumbnail. It's no big surprise when we get to it. But to do well in this would be truly exceptional. Speaking of exceptional, am I exceptional? Am I? Well, if you think so, maybe you could try being exceptional yourself. That's right, being truly exceptional really is a good way to support the channel, get me seen by more people and help me grow a little bit more every single day, so thank you for your support. Today's map is Pittsburgh 3 Rivers by BWild58. There are 3 rivers here. I know it looks like 4, or something, but it's 3 and a creek. Then we have this as your start square, plenty of build plane there, river, highways, blah-de-blah-de-blah, even the rail. Then we have the terrain heights where we have a lot of flat build plane around the river and it's not too steep up in the hills either. Nice. And the resources, a bit blobby, very vanilla-y, definitely usable, no complaints there. Off to the workshop. It is a mass transit map. You will need mass transit for this one. We'll also be using Bisquickelhausen's Bay Bridge network, and we'll be using the Vanilla Boreal theme and the realistic 1.2 LUT. Now, it does say very clearly at the top of the description that this has been built for the 25 tiles, not the 81 tiles, which is why I'm coming in on this road here. Even though this road doesn't actually connect to the outside, it goes right to the edge, doesn't actually connect. But this is the best of the outside connections, inverted commas. We'll take a little left here and just have a little look at what's over this bridge. I think you know what's coming. Tune your voices, ladies and gentlemen. After 3, 1, 2, 3. It's everybody's favourite factory. Yes, let's move on. Moving on. So yes, we are out of the 25 tiles at the moment. This is probably the best of all the outside roads. And this one, it has a little bit of terrain glitching. I think you probably know that the other ones are going to be sufficiently much worse than that to be comedic in effect, and promise you we will have a look at least one of those during today's review. So anyways, out of the 25 tiles, I'm not that worried. I'm not marking any map down for that. If it says nothing outside 25 counts, so there you go, we're ignoring them. But we are now very much in the 25 tiles, so everything from here on in is very much scoreable. So, right, lots of build plane here, running a national road right the way through the middle of it. It's very nice. We've got a jinky janky here, but I'm not marking it down for this because although I have looked at the Google map, I haven't looked at it in sufficient detail to check for every junction and intersection. So I'm just assuming there is an intersection there in real life that has caused that real life janky. Then up here for the start square before we zoom in for today's asset. I very nearly said today's asset and it just came out today. Today's asset is Hugo Boss Barcelona by Stringer Bell. What a lovely majestic building this is. And we'll do factoids because factoids. On the 4th of December, today's date, in 1952, a freak weather change saw the city of London enveloped by a layer of deadly smog, which literally left people gasping for breath, gasping for words. After 5 days, the death toll came to over 4,000, and thousands more died later from related illnesses. So there we go. Luckily, they have cleaned things up around London. It's not smoggy anymore, but those cities that are suffering from smog in certain other parts of the world, just bear that in mind, people. Anyway, the Hugo Boss Barcelona by Stringer Bell. I love this building. I love all of Stringer Bell's buildings. They're very nice work. As we head back out into Pittsburgh, 3 Rivers by BWild58. We have a roundabout here. We're going to have a little trip over the bridge. Now, There is a comment in the description, sorry, in the comments in the comments on the workshop that says that the bridge is not particularly realistic, but everything else does feel like Pittsburgh, the road layouts and stuff. And I would agree with that. They've not been done with great finesse, but they do all seem to match up with what is there, just not very accurately. But first map, probably a new player, not done a worse job, and even getting close to matching is something. Bisquickelhausen's Bay Bridge there seems a little bit squished for my preferences, like it's stretched out a little bit more, but it's not horrendous or horrific. It's just not the prettiest of all the bridges in all the world that we've seen. Little elevated section of ground level there, and a nice wishbone intersection there. And we'll just nip over here. I want to show you, this is my favourite part of the whole map. This intersection here, I think this is lovely. Even the logo loves it. Heart is beating away there. This is the wishbone, the vanilla wishbone, but it's built onto a hill, which means that all those horrible ramps that we get with the vanilla wishbone have kind of been levelled out because everything drops down naturally. That was obviously more luck than judgment, but it's worked very nicely indeed. Just a couple of things that could be tweaked there to make it a bit better, but that is not half bad. So credit where it's due. Little jinky jankies going on. I don't know if you can make them out. Hang on, let's pull back a little bit. Ben's in there, janky there, straight on after that. Now we're kind of heading off out of the 25. When we get to that hill in the distance there, we're out of the 25 tiles. And this is where, well, the work has yet to be done. They've kind of had a bit of a nod to the highway network out here, as you can tell. There is the nod to the highway network, which clearly bends and winds its way off. I'm not sure if this is the direction of the Blue Ridge Mountains or whatever, but it's heading its way somewhere. It's not the greatest. It's not the greatest bit of highway laying, but again, we are out the 25 tiles. I have promised I won't be grading anything on that, and if they come back and tidy that up later, for those that want the extra map, then, well, that's a triple bonus. Let's have a look at the rail. Okay, we've got two rail lines here, one running down by the river, one just a little bit more inland. Out of the 25 tiles, we're bouncing around a lot. We're kind of moving into the buildable area now, and it smooths out a lot, which would be great. We are elevated as well. I've noticed that we are elevated. We had this a couple of shows ago, didn't we, with an elevated rails throughout the map. And then across the river here, it looks really good at first, but then we have a little bit of a dip away right at the ends there that could do with levelling out just a little bit. And then we continue along again. It doesn't look so bad. I mean, there are stretch sections where we're over the water. Maybe that is the case in real life, but then we are starting to climb and drop. And had something whizzing past my window there with thanks Diesel, thank you. Yes, let's have a look at the upper rail. Sorry, I'm distracted by that. That was too loud for my liking. The upper rail, now this is a little bit more inland and there are terrain changes here, and this very much is more of your roller coaster. Let's follow this one along to see how bad it gets. We've got no mountains going on here. This is just like this is just hills. Little bit of terrain work here to smooth this out would be good. Dips away, climbs, because it's kind of hiding in the trees. It's hard to see it so much. I might have to switch the terrain, the lines of elevation on in a moment, just to give you a better view. Right, we're right in the start square now. This is a particularly, probably a good spot down here somewhere. Let's say we'll have a steep climb in a moment, like down in here. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. We'll put the lines on here. We're still in the 25 tiles. You'll see just how steep this gets. There you go. We're climbing up and up and up. It's kind of, because it's masked by the trees, it's not quite so obvious as it would be if it been out in the open. Anyway, that then comes back down to ground there, and then we do another big drop down there before a climb and a drop and so forth. You get the idea. The network isn't the most slick, but a first timer, well, you didn't expect that, did you really? Maybe. Back in a moment.
Do you have trouble knowing how to start a new city? Do you need to return to the absolute basics just this once? Don't worry, I won't tell. Then you need BonBonB's Beginner's Guide to Your First City. Click the information button now.
And so back to Pittsburgh, Three Rivers by Be Wild. This is your shipping route. We have shipping routes going down the rivers. And it goes through the widest part there. Looks high enough, possibly. High enough, possibly. Widest part. A bit close to the pillar there. And then it all goes pear-shaped. Right next to the pillar there. Things are going to be crashing through that one. Scraping through past that one as well. Then down here we've got... Oh, this is a tight angle. Let's see where this goes. Scraping past that one. Scraping past that one. And off the edge of the map. So anything coming in from the edge of the map here wanting to go to where we started from is going to have to do a really sharp turn here. Which is why we could have done with a little bit of a smooth bend going on there as well. Anyway, we've got scraping past this one as well. Jinky janky going on there. Couldn't we have had a straighter line going through there? That would have been better. And then we have a divergence and two separate shipping lines running side by side. Now we have the three rivers. We have this one. This is the Allegheny River. Then we have I'm going to get this wrong, the Monongahela. Something like that. Sorry about that. And then the Ohio River carrying on. This is the Cartier's or Chartier's Creek. That is just the creek. It's not really a river. There is a bit of water coming down it in real life, but it's not the strongest. These aren't strong flowing rivers either, by the way. These are fairly shallow rivers. And so therefore, we're not expecting a huge amount of water flow, but we need enough to flow. However, these are flowing upstream. Yep, these are going the wrong way. These think that we're going up towards the Blue Ridge Mountains this way. This is also going upstream towards the Blue Ridge Mountains. That's not the best. But it is flowing. It is moving. Now into the Ohio River going upstream again. We've got the island in the middle there to build on. Love the island. Like that island. Oh, hang on. Now we're going downstream. Which means that the water is coming from this strong water source here. This is the creek. This is the least important of the three rivers. And it is the one that is flooding the water system unrealistically. At least the water is flowing past the start squares. Can't quite remember where the start square is. It's not this one, is it? But it's moving there. And I think it's moving over here as well. It's over here. It's your start square over here, I think. Anyway, yeah, it's all good. Water flow is excellent. Loads of build plane. Loads of existing network that apparently has been tested and does work. The intersections are not realistic, but based on realism. So if you wanted to fix them using Move It, you probably wouldn't have too much work to do because the roads will be in the right place at least. And we've got plenty of variants of intersections as well, which is very slick work. Like this one. I do like this one. That one does match up quite closely, actually. Then we have Fort Duquesne. I think that's how it's pronounced. I did Google that one. And that's a very nice former French fort. What more have we got over here? We've got this little dead end type thing over here, which we've got a lot of traffic coming up. Look, the route finding sometimes is ridiculous. That is never going to be, unless they're U-turning going back to the edge of the map. And this is the quickest route to U-turn. Now that would make some kind of sense. And we go through a tunnel and that emerges down on this little section here. Well, you've heard of the movie Three Men and a Baby, where the baby was the star. This is Three Rivers and the creek is the star. But what do you think of the map overall? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. What do I think? Probably not, but it's not my decision. I can rate it though. And we'll start off with the aesthetics as always. Aesthetically, it's not pretty, and I would normally just go 2 stars for this, but it does look like what it's supposed to look like, i.e. Pittsburgh. And because of that, I've got to kind of like credit it, and it goes up to a 3rd. It's a low 3, but it's a 3 stars. Detailing, pretty poor. There's a lot of it. There is a lot of detailing. All those intersections, a lot of detailing. But none of it is high standards. I've got to go 2 stars for detail. Gameplay potential. Now, if you're looking for a vanilla map, all but obviously the bridge. If you're looking for a first play, a first build, you want to do Pittsburgh, all of those reasons are a reason to play this map. If you're looking for realism, less so. But I've got to give it 3 stars. It's playable, and I think a lot of people will like playing it. It might not be you, it might not be me, but there will be a lot of people that do. So Wild 58's Pittsburgh Three Rivers. I should have read that in the order it was on the screen, shouldn't I? Anyway, yes. Another one coming tomorrow. Another My First Map tomorrow. I've not seen it yet. It might be as good as Monday's. It might be worse than today's. I don't know. I don't know till I see it. But the only way to find out is to tune in. I'll be here tomorrow. There's an old map on the screen now if you can't wait until then to see a map. And obviously lots of other things going on this week as well, such as the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Guess what? Viewer's Choice Top 10. Ooh, nice maps. See you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.